Why do people even watch other people on YouTube? It's weird. It's creepy. I don't get it.
Cut. That's nice.
Okay, roll sound, please.
Look, this is crazy. They're making a movie.
Action. Ultimately, what this movie is sort of the backstory of Fred.
Wow.
Good. All right. That's nice. I like that. We wanted to invent all those characters that he created, and we wanted to be able to, like, I as a filmmaker, wanted to really make that world come to life. All right, quick, we gotta go quick. It was a challenging movie because we tried to make a $20-30 million Hollywood studio comedy, but for, 1/30 of that price. And that meant so many limitations in terms of how much time you had with people, where you could set the story, what you could go to. I mean, just everything was a limitation. And certainly the fact that Lucas was new to the process was challenging because he's in the entire movie.
Ow!
Ow. Fred's like kind of an exaggerated version of me, sort of. Like I'm not nearly as awkward and weird as him, but I'm sort of like that.
Oh my damn it, I dug all the way to China!
Nice.
We all came up with sort of the idea of the movie together.
When we met David Goodman, he understood the struggle in my mind of, how do we keep everything that's special about Fred and make a mainstream movie that has an indie feel to it, but that, that families can flock to confidently, and not only everybody be really entertained, but not have to have a lot of anxiety about edge and content. And he totally got that right away.
The hard part was figuring out a story that sustained for the length of a movie, and we went back and forth on it, and it was really trying to find a story that was very simple, of Fred literally having to go across town. That was a big deal for this kid. So there's that very thin little story, and thrown in there are his fantasies.
Action. The whole cast is so funny. Lucas had built them in his head. There's a bully archetype, and there's a love interest, and then there's this, friend who's sort of a beguiling friend. And, it was a hunt, I think. And we shuffled people back and forth, and it was so much about finding the chemistry of the four of them that makes the whole rest of the movie make sense. So in casting, we sort of began there, and once that was set, I knew how to work out from there.
I'm eating all the prop food.
Working with Lucas is really fun. He's really sweet because I thought he was going to be a little bit crazy and weird in real life because of his videos. But he's completely different to Fred, and I think that's what's so great about him.
Oh my God, I'm so impressed with you. I love playing Bertha. It's so cool. When I found out I got the part, I was so excited. She's a really crazy character, and I'm all about interesting characters, and she's definitely very interesting, so I love it. Lucas is awesome. He's been a great sport, buried with his head just barely peeping out of the sand.
Fred is buried in the sand, and Judy's drowning in the pool, and I come to save the day. Kevin comes and rescues Judy and brings her out of the water, and they have a little duet, and it's beautiful, and it's lovely, and it's just awesome.
Memorizing lines was sort of hard because sometimes Fred has like those super long monologues.
I'm thinking I might have Judy over today. I'm not really sure. I mean, my mom won't mind. I have friends over all the time and she never cares.
In the videos, it's not hard because I do it all improv, but I had to kind of follow a script for the movie, so it was really hard memorizing like big chunks of script.
Those videos that he did, all those 40 or 50 videos that he's made by himself, were his rehearsal. And that ended up, I think, why the movie works as well as it does is because of all the work he had done before.
Sometimes stuff takes so long to film and so much like preparation and everything, but then it's on the movie for like 5 seconds, so it's like, was that really worth it?
Oh, what, are you going to a butt-face convention, huh?
I'm just gonna ignore you.
Some of the approach was how do we utilize a kid's imagination to make the funniest things happen and keep the movie moving and not feel the sort of lag of a story, which I think a lot of comedies suffer from. So how do we exploit it and toy with wherever Fred's head is and what he's emotionally feeling?
Fred, it's go time!
It's been really fun working with John Cena.
Woo!
I was pretty scared when I met him. He has the biggest muscles I've ever seen. It's crazy. I'm scared. And I think there's a scene where he tackles me, so I'm kind of scared for that.
I don't want Kevin to make fun of me in front of Judy.
Make fun of you!
My role in World Wrestling Entertainment is a triumphant hero. And it's kind of fitting that, for a kid in a dream sequence to have a vision of a father who isn't. It's the guy who never backs down from anything, the toughest guy in the world. So here I am. It's great for me because I get to be me. And I get to be me and have some fun at the same time.
She's been kidnapped by kidnappers.
Kidnappers.
Lucas had done so much work already that was really funny. Not only did I have to be true to it to respect his fan base, I wanted to be because it was so good. He's such a talented comedian and such a talented writer in terms of the world that he created that made it possible.
Yes. Fred.
It's me.
When he comes to Judy's house for the first time, it playing as a real scene, and then later exposing itself as a dream. Just how we could kind of weave the audience into not knowing where they are.
Action.
Well, I'm kind of in the middle of my party right now.
There's obviously bigger moments in the story that if they don't work, then the whole movie doesn't work. The party scene when he shows up in his humiliated Judy's house.
My favorite moment in the movie is when he goes to Judy's and is actually there, and it's the reality that she's having this party that he was invited to, and it's painful. Oh my God, it hurts. And and I wrote that, and that was my intention, was that it should hurt. But the fact that I got that it hurt me watching it was definitely a tribute, I thought, to all the great work that that Lucas did and Clay did and Brian, the producer. It's amazing what they brought together.
I adore that scene. You get slammed into reality. You think this movie has sort of been a fantasy of sorts, a fiction, and then when he finally gets there with the thing he's been looking for so long, when he finally gets there and we're slammed into a hard reality that I think the viewer certainly doesn't expect, and nor does Fred.
That was gorgeous, Pew.
And then to watch that scene unfold and his expectations for meeting Judy just completely 180, and then how YouTube is integrated into that, and how Kevin is like even making it worse by being able to put his humiliation out there to the world.
We had lots of fun throughout the movie of really commenting on kids today and how important it is for them to be seen. Like when Lucas goes to that party, all the kids hold up their phone and are shooting him and videoing him vomiting. And that's so much a part of kid culture now, is like, look what we're doing, look what's happening. And that's so much a part of, I think, why Fred is so popular, is that it's so much of its time of kids and wanting to be celebrities through YouTube.
Oh my gosh, in 60 seconds, 60 people will have seen this.
When you get through that day and you realize you got exactly what you wanted out of it, that's sort of reassuring, just because that scene breaks and the movie breaks. Every single scene we shot is in the movie. There is not, everything that we had, literally had to put everything we shot in the movie because we had no time to. So there's not like days and other storylines and other things that got cut. It's literally like, that was the box I was in. Like, this has to work. And it's a linear story once he gets out of his house, so you better make sure that the pet shop works, because if it doesn't work, it has to be there because of what comes next.
Music, please.
Music.
I like the scene where like him and Bertha get revenge on everyone and make that video of like their own party, but it really isn't a party, but it looks like it. I really like that scene because I like seeing Fred get revenge on all the mean people at school.
I'm having a party and you can't come.
His clever ploy of a party, creating a fictitious party, was a delight. I mean, it was sort of a filmmaker's dream to just get to create that sort of silliness and make it all feel authentic in the end.
Now hands and stuff.
The fake party that Fred puts together, that sequence, my favorite sequence in the film, and just it shows how much creativity was brought to bear. They shot that in a day, and it's amazing.
What fans will see, straight up, is that the Fred of the movie looks different, sounds a little bit different than the Fred of YouTube. And one of the reasons why is because Lucas looks different than he used to. And this suits him. This is a part that he can play for at least a couple more years and make some more movies.
Okay, good. Moving. Thank you.
I'm really surprised with how the movie turned out. It's weird watching yourself because while you were filming, you're feeling like this certain emotion or this certain thing, but then when you watch it, it's not how you thought it would look, you know. It was definitely hard getting used to like being patient with the whole process. But I really liked it. I really liked the filming process. It was fun.
You're like, and then you can even be a. Is what I loved about Lucas in building this together was that he has such a wonderful spirit in him. So that's been the sort of emotionally the most rewarding part of it. Now I'm gonna. This is when I cry.